Good morning, students. We'll move on to the next topic, that is addressing mode. So you can expect one sure question from this topic. The question will be, explain any four addressing mode with a suitable example. Or else, they may give four different addressing mode and they may ask you to explain with an example. Fine. So this is very important topic because in further concepts and modules, okay, we'll be utilizing the concepts of addressing mode. Fine. So try to understand. If you have doubt, okay, I will clear it later. Fine. Okay. So what exactly this addressing mode means? Fine. The name only indicates, just observe, addressing. Okay. Addressing means what? Like we are targeting someone. Fine. We need to target someone. Okay. But what are the different facilities are available, or what are the different modes are available so that we can target them properly? Fine. Regarding that entire discussion we have. Clear? Okay. So we'll see that addressing modes, the different ways in which the location of an operand is specified in an instruction are referred to as addressing modes. Fine. The task is we need to target or we need to address the operand which is residing in our memory. Okay, don't worry whether it is primary memory or secondary memory. So whatever the operand we want to bring it for execution, that will be available in your secondary storage itself. Okay, from secondary storage we need to bring them into the primary storage, that is your RAM to cache to general purpose register. Fine. So this is what the channel we are having, okay, or the direction of the data flow. Remember this, okay. So don't worry like whether we are fetching it from the secondary storage or primary, okay. Right now just consider it as our processor is communicating with the main memory, that is what, the RAM. Okay. Now the addressing mode will help us to represent the address location of operand which is residing in our main memory, okay, in our instruction. Okay. For this representation, okay, we got total 6 to 8 different addressing modes available. Okay, different varieties of syntaxes we are using in our instruction so that we can mention the address of those operand which is residing in our main memory. Clear? Fine. Example, I have a value called as a 4 stored in a location called as a 100. Okay. My example is I have a value called as 4. Okay. In a location called as 100. Okay. Now that address 100, okay, that location address 100 should be mentioned in my instruction. Fine. What are the possible ways? What are the different syntaxes we can use to represent that address 100 in my instruction? That is what the explanation regarding addressing modes. Clear? Okay, I hope you don't have doubt what is the meaning of addressing mode. Okay, so first we have the first variety, we are calling it as register addressing mode. Okay, be careful students, just observe the name. Okay, register addressing mode. Okay, we are discussing about a topic of addressing mode, okay, along with the register. Fine. Okay, now we'll go through this. What is register addressing mode? The operand is the content of a processor register. The name of a register is given in the instruction. Observe it carefully. The operand is the content of a processor register and the name of register is given in the instruction. Fine. Okay. So in our instruction, if I want to represent, if I want to mention the original value, okay, which should be processed, okay, instead of mentioning the original value, what we do, we are keeping that original value inside a general purpose register, that is nothing but a processor register, and the address of or else the name of that register will be mentioned in your instruction. Fine. If that is the case, then we call it as register addressing mode. Okay. So here we got one example. Just observe. Move R0, sum we have. Okay. Move R naught comma sum. Fine. What is this R naught exactly? It is a general purpose register, right? Okay. What is the meaning of this instruction? We need to shift, or we need to shift a copy of content of R naught to a location called as sum. What is the source over here? The source is R naught and the destination is sum exactly. So R naught is holding what? Some value, okay, which we are naming it as what? Operand. Remember this, okay? The value which is held by your R naught register, okay, is nothing but operand over here. Okay, okay, fine. So this is what the example of a register addressing mode. Fine. If we are utilizing general purpose register for holding the operand, okay, and the name of that register is mentioned in your instruction, then we call it as register addressing mode. Clear? Very simple. Okay, fine. Then later, second, okay, one more example. Like if I want, then move R naught, comma R1. Yes, this is also register addressing mode. Okay, don't worry that whether the destination is having register or any memory location. It does not matter actually. Okay, the condition is what? The operand, what we are dealing with, it should be inside a register. That's it. Then second one, absolute addressing mode. Okay, we'll see this. What is this absolute? Or one more name we are having, direct. Okay, instead of absolute in your exam, they may ask you like direct addressing mode. I repeat, absolute addressing mode is having one more name called as direct addressing mode. Fine. Okay. What is this absolute addressing mode? The operand is in a memory location. Okay, fine. The operand is in memory location. Obviously, it will be in a memory location. The address of this operand is given explicitly in the instruction. Observe it carefully. Where exactly operand is now? Operand is in memory location. Okay. The address of this operand means the address of this memory location, okay, is given explicitly in the instruction. Okay. Instead of depending on any register, okay, what we do, the address of that particular memory location will be specified in our instruction. Direct address. Okay, we want the value called as 4. Where it is residing? According to my example, it is residing in a location called as 100. Direct 100 will be specified in your instruction. If that is the case, we are going to call it as what? Absolute addressing mode, or else direct addressing mode. Fine. Okay, so here in our example, we got at a comma b. Okay, what is this A stand for? A is a label, remember always, A is a label of one particular memory location, okay, which is holding some operand. Okay, so this is what the operand, so this is what the address, okay, address, okay. For this address, we are naming it as what? A, okay, label. So wherever we are specifying capital A in our instruction, that is nothing but this particular address. Clear? Okay, fine. Then later, wherever we are specifying this A, that means we are targeting for operand. Clear? So this particular operand. So direct address will be specified in your instruction. If that is the case, we call it as absolute addressing mode. Fine. One more example, like at a comma r naught. If this is what the case, then what we should call it as, whether it is register addressing mode or whether it is absolute addressing mode. It is absolute addressing mode. See here, source operand is residing inside what? Inside a memory location, and that memory location address is specified in your instruction exactly. Clear? Okay, forget about the destination, whatever we may use, but what you are dealing with, the operand, okay, where it is residing, that is what the question, right? So this is what the direct addressing mode, or we call absolute addressing mode. Okay, next variety we have immediate addressing mode. Fine, we'll see this. What is this immediate addressing mode? Fine, just observe the operand is given explicitly in the instruction. Fine, the operand is given explicitly in the instruction. Means, according to my example, like in a location 100, which we are labeling it as capital A, okay, inside that, what is the value we are stored with? 4 exactly, okay. Instead of specifying address, original address 100, or instead of specifying the label of that address as capital A in my instruction, the original value that 4 will be specified in your instruction. If that is the case, we call it as immediate addressing mode. Name only indicates. See here, immediate means what? No need to refer any memory location. Whatever the operand we are expecting, that is directly specified in our instruction. That's it. Okay, direct value we are available with. Fine. Okay. See, example, if you want to uh, purchase, okay, if you want to purchase a pen, fine, from any social or else any like shopping sites like Flipkart, Amazon, okay, Paytm, or any other, okay. So if this is what the case, fine, like we are expecting to purchase a pen, okay, that is what our main necessary over here, okay. So there are several options, okay. We can go for the online shopping, one condition we are having, or else immediately we can get it from our college store, right? Okay, that is also available in our college store. Fine. So these are all like Flipkart and Amazon and all. Okay, we can consider it like, yes, it is like registered addressing mode or absolute addressing mode or direct addressing mode. Okay, like we need to be dependent on someone, but here it will be available in your campus itself. Fine. Okay, like immediately, whatever you are expecting, that is available in your fingertip. That's it. Okay, that we are calling it as immediate addressing mode. Okay, fine. So we'll see this. What is the gesture of immediate addressing mode? Very careful, students. Okay, there are two varieties. Okay, so we got two different varieties. How we can represent the immediate addressing mode instruction. See, the target is I want to move a value called as 200, okay, to a registered or not. How we can do that? Value, see here, direct value I want to shift, okay. See the same instruction, see the variety, we are having 200 to the base of IMM, okay. If I write like move 200 comma R naught, okay, if this is the case, what your processor feel is, okay, see here, we don't have a base of IMM, right? We don't have this IMM base. If this is the case, your processor feel that 200 is a address of one particular location. Okay, 200 will be treated as an address. Then it will be submitted to your main memory. Fine. Okay. So inside main memory, there may be a location called as a 200. So inside that some value may be residing. That value will be moved to R not exactly, which is wrong. Okay, this should not happen. According to my example, I want to shift a direct value, that is 200 into R naught. Clear? Okay, 200, only 200 should be shifted to R naught. 200 should not be considered as an address. Then what I need to do? We got two options. Okay, so first one, we call it as the direct value with a base IMM, one option we are having. Then this will be treated as a value. Okay, it will not be treated as an address. So 200 will be shifted to R naught. Okay, or one more we are having. This is like out of practice. Okay, we don't use these kind of syntax or gesture in our instruction. Okay, but this one is best. Okay, so move 200 comma R naught, but here we are using a prefix of what? Sharp sign. Okay, or else hash sign. Okay, hash sign we are using over here, or else we are also calling it as sharp sign in front of 200, or else any value, direct value like immediate addressing mode, if you want to use, then we need to use this sharp sign. Okay, it is not only for any number. Okay, if I want like move, okay, move hash pra, okay, a few words, a few characters of my name, okay, pra comma R naught. If I want to move this, yes, it is possible. Pra will be shifted to R naught. Okay, why? because we are using what? We are using hash sign over here. It is not compulsory like only a integer can be shifted to R naught, or integer can be used before like after sharp sign. No, it is not. Okay, whatever you want to represent after this sharp sign, same thing will be shifted for R naught. Remember this. Fine. Okay. So here we got one example at A is equal to B plus 6. A is equal to B plus 6. So A is a label as obvious, B is a label as obvious. Okay, we can use a direct addressing mode. Using that we can represent. Okay, but what about 6? How we can do this? Okay, so here we got example. See here, move B comma R1. Okay, fine. Value of B will be shifted to, or a value of B, copy of B will be shifted to R1. Okay, fine. Then later what next? I need to add value 6 to R1 exactly. Yes, obvious. Then add hash 6 comma R1. Observe it carefully. Hash 6 comma R1. Then same value. Okay, value 6 will be added to R1 exactly. Later, I need to shift the result of this summation into A exactly. So what I need to do? Move R1 comma A. Just observe. Here we are using a direct addressing mode. Here we are using a immediate addressing mode, and here we are using registered addressing mode. Okay, all three addressing mode, what we discussed till now, everything we are utilizing over here. Clear? Okay. Next, indirect addressing mode. Okay, indirect addressing mode. Okay, it is just like a treasure hunt. Okay, you all are familiar with treasure hunt, right? Okay, what is the treasure hunt? You'll be given some hint. Okay, so if you solve it, then you will get an address of particular location, any one location. Okay, that is targeting, that hint is targeting for some location. So if you go to that location, you will get the address of another one. Okay, so what you are expecting is that second one, not the first one. Clear? What address you are going to get from that first hint, okay, is not the original thing what you are expecting. Okay, from the second, okay, let me take one example. So here we got a first hint. Okay, so here we got a second hint. Okay, the main content. Okay, so three things we are having. So you are here. Okay, let me consider. Okay, this is what a person, okay, who is expecting the main content. Okay, but directly he won't get this main content. What you need to do? Okay, you need to go to this hint, first hint. After solving this, he will get a hint of another one. Okay, so when he come to this location, he will get a complete information of this main content. Finally, this person can reach this main content. So this we call it as indirect. Okay, so indirect, in this example, just observe indirect. Okay, B is what? A address. Inside that some value will be residing, so that value is expected over here. Okay, but here you need to go to one location, you will get an address of another one. Okay, so inside that another one, you'll be having the original content. Okay, so we'll go through the one example. You will be having, you will understand it better. Okay, indirect addressing mode. The effective address of the operand, observe it carefully, effective address, not direct operand. The effective address of the operand is the content of a register or memory location. Okay, both options we have. I can use register or I can use memory location, both. Okay, whose address appear in the instruction? These two. Okay, register or memory location address will be mentioned in our instruction. Okay, fine. So inside this register or memory location, whatever value we are having, that should be considered as a effective address. Remember this, that should be considered as effective address. Just for your differentiate, okay, just observe. See, B is what? The label of a memory location, right? So inside B some value is residing. Clear? Okay, but here B will be specified in your instruction. Okay, so whatever it is holding, like 4 if it is, okay, 4 is not the original value what you are expecting over here. 4 should be considered as address. So inside a location called as 4, we are having 26 example. Okay, we are having something called as a 26. 26 is the operand what we are expecting. Observe it carefully. B is mentioned in your instruction. B should not be considered as a operand. Okay, inside B whatever we have, that should be considered as an effective address. So what is inside B? 4 exactly. 4 should be considered as an address. Where is 4? Here. Inside 4 what we have? 4, 26 we are having. Clear? So this is what? Indirect addressing mode. Okay. Okay. So here we got one example. Just observe. Add R1 comma R0. Observe it carefully. What we got? R1 within a bracket. Remember, anything you place within a bracket, the content of that R1 or content of that anything, okay, which is under the bracket should be considered as an address. Remember this careful, okay? Remember this, whatever we are placing within a bracket, that will be considered as what? That will be considered as what? Address. So now R1 within a bracket. So value of R1 should be considered as an address. Value of R1 should be considered as a address. We'll see that. Add R1, comma R0. Okay. If there is no bracket, value of R1 will be added with value of R0. Is it? If we don't have a bracket, then value of R1 will be added with value of R0. Okay. But now we have a bracket. So what we need to do according to indirect addressing mode, bracket if it is available, the value of or else the content of R1 should be considered as an address, right? What is the content of R1? Where we have R1, R1 is a general purpose register. See, this is what the memory location, this is what the register exactly, okay, processor register. So we have R1 over here. What is the value of R1? B exactly, capital B. Now, this capital B should be considered as a address. Remember, okay, capital B should be considered as a address. If I consider it as an address, where is B? So here is what the B. So inside B, whatever the operand we have, so this should be added with R0. Okay, I repeat, R1 within a bracket means whatever the value we have inside the R1, that should be considered as an address. What we have inside R1, according to this, B is what the content of R1. So B should be considered as an address. Where is B? Here. So inside B, what we have? Operand we are having, some value we are having, example 4, let it be. Okay. So 4 should be added with R0. So this is what we call it as indirect. So you are here, you got an address of R1, you are coming to R1, you are getting the address of another one. Okay, what is that? B. So you will go to that location. So inside that you have operand. Clear? This we call it as indirect addressing. Okay, fine. Then using register, this is what the pattern. If I'm using a memory location, because in our definition there was two variety, like a register or memory location. Okay, that was the option we had. Okay, we'll see this what difference we can face. Okay, so add a comma R0, a within a bracket we have. Okay, so a should be considered as what? Like indirect addressing mode. So whatever the value of a we have, that should be considered as effective address. So where we have a we are having here. Okay, what is the content of a? B exactly. Okay, so B should be considered as an address. Okay, where we have B? Here we have B. What is the value residing B? So this is what the value residing B. Okay, operand. So this should be added with R0. Okay, through a memory location. Okay, through a memory location, this is how. Okay, fine. Okay, next. So here we got one example. Just observe, okay, how we can utilize up to now whatever the addressing modes we had discussed. Okay, see a move n comma R1. Okay, so this is what I told you, right, while discussing the branch. Okay, how to find the next number and how to add. Okay, there was a sentence like find the next number and add it to R0 or R1. Okay, so that was our previous example. If you want, you can go to the last class presentation. Okay, there you can find a branching topic. Okay, there we are having one example. Okay, without branching, 101 we need to 101 line we need to write for adding 100 numbers. Okay, including branch. Okay, we can finish it off within 7 to 8 lines. Okay, so we'll see that how it can be done. Okay, so here just observe move n comma R1. Okay, so the number of like the numbers. Okay, how many number we are having, that can be moved to R1. Okay, so that is what the 100 according to our example, previous example. So 100 will be shifted to R0, sorry, R1. Now see a move hash num1 we have. Move hash num1 comma R2. Right? What does this hash num1 stand for? See, a num1 is the address of the first number. Okay, remember this. Here in our example, like 1 to 100 we have, right, the number. Okay, so first number is stored in a location which is labeled as num1. Second number is stored in a location which is labeled as num2. Okay, so those label we want to shift it for R2 exactly. Clear? Okay, so that's why we are using hash num1, address of the first number, to R2 exactly. Okay, remember all these numbers are stored in our memory location with a difference of 4, 0, 4, 8, like that. First number, second number, third number. So if I successfully shift the address of the first number, only address I want to shift. I don't want to shift a value. Remember, okay, If I mention, you may ask like why we need to represent hash over here. Directly we can mention the num1. Okay, see, then num1 inside that what we have, 1 will be shifted inside the R2. No, I want to target the address of that particular. Why? I tell you later. Okay, in this example itself I will tell you. Okay, so now the address of the first number will be inside the R0. What is that address? 0. What is the value of R1? According to now 100 will be inside the R1. Okay, let me write over here. R1 is having a address of, or else the value of 100. Then R2 is having a address of 0. Okay, R2 is having a content of 0. Okay, then clear R0. So whatever the R0 value we had in the previous cycle, that should be resetted it as 0 now. Okay, then now they will start. Okay, how to find the or how to add the content to the like R0, we'll see that. Okay, so here add R2 within a bracket, R2 within a bracket, comma R0. Indirect addressing mode we are using, right? Value of R2 should be considered as a address. Okay, so what is the value of R2? Value of R2 is what? 0 exactly. 0 should be considered as what? Address. Okay, if I consider 0 as address, what is the value inside the 0 we have? According to my example, 1. Inside 4 what we have? 2 we are having. Inside 8 what we have? 3 we are having. Okay, so I want to target this first value. That's why. Okay, so R2 we are having, R2 within a bracket we are considering. If I consider R2 within a bracket, so this should be considered as what? Address exactly. If I consider this as address, where we have that location? Here. Okay, so inside that what we have? Inside that 1 we are having, so 1 will be added to R0. Okay, so now this R0, sorry, this R0 has become wait. Okay, so this R0 has become 1 now. Okay, clear? Then later add hash 4 comma R2. Okay, what is the value of R2? 0 exactly. Hash 4 means directly I need to add value 4 to R2. Then this will be overrated as 4, right? R2 will be overrated as 4 now. Then decrement R1. Then your R1 value will be pointing for, or R1 value will be pointing for what? 99 exactly. Then we need to check the loop. What is that? Branch greater than 0. We need to check whether R1 is greater than 0 or what. What is the R1 value? 99. Yes, it is greater. Right. Okay. Then what I need to do? I need to shift, or I need to shift my execution pointer to a target called as loop. Where we have? We need to shift it to this particular loop location. What we need to perform? Again, the same process will continue. We'll see that. Okay. 1 or 2 cycle we'll see. Okay. Then we'll go to the next topic. Okay. Add again R2 within a bracket. What is the value of R2 now? 4 exactly. So 4 within a bracket means what? I need to consider 4 as an address. Okay, where we have 4? Here exactly. What is the value inside? 2 exactly. Now what I need to do? I need to add, okay, 2 to R0 exactly. Now R0 value will be incremented to what? Okay, 1 already we had. 1 plus 2, answer is 3 exactly. R0 is pointing for 3 now. Okay, R0 is holding a value called as 3 now. Then later add hash 4 comma R2. Okay, if I add hash 4 comma R2, or 4 for R2 value, already we are having 4. Okay, so it will be overrated as 8, right? Okay, R2 is pointing for 8 exactly. Decrement R1, so 99 we are having, it will become 98. Okay, then we are going to check the branch. Yes, R1 is greater than 0 because 98 we are having. Then go to loop. Yes, add R2. What is the value of R2 now? 8 exactly. 8 should be considered as an address. What is the value of or else what exactly is holded by your 8? 3 exactly. Now 3 will be added to R0. Okay, if 3 is added to R0, then this will be changed to 6 exactly. Then again add 4 for R2, decrement R1. This cycle repeats until, okay, we reach R1 value equal to 0. Okay, after all, adding all the values of like 100 numbers, okay, finally we are coming out of this loop and we are going to execute this instruction, that is move R0 comma sum. So R0 will be holding a summation of n numbers. Okay, so that result will be stored in sum exactly. Okay, so this is how we can utilize the addressing mode concept. Okay, so apart from this, we have one last very important index addressing mode. Okay, the effective address of the operand is generated by adding a constant value to the content of a register. Okay, so this is what we call it as a formula, how to generate the effective address. Okay, so x plus ri. Okay, x plus ri, this ri will be within a bracket. Okay, so here we got an example. So this is what the gesture of immediate, sorry, index addressing mode. For immediate, we are using a sharp sign, right? Okay, but here we are not using a sharp sign. Okay, this is what the gesture. So the register will be available within a bracket. So before that, we'll be having some constant value. Okay, what it mean exactly? See here, R1 we have, right? R1 within a bracket. It indicates like indirect addressing mode. Let it be. Where we have R1, here we have R1. What is the value of R1? 1000 exactly. 1000 is not a operand. What you're looking for? 1000 is a address we need to consider because it is within a bracket, right? Okay. Where we have 1000? Here we have 1000, right? Okay. But according to indirect addressing mode, value of or else the content of this 1000 will be the operand. But here we have a constant. What we need to do is come to this targeted address, indirect address, then add this constant to this particular address. What is that constant? 20. 1000 plus 20. Then we have a deflection from this 1000 towards 1020. How many points? 20 points exactly. 1000 plus 20, 1020. And 1020 is the original operand what you want to add with R2. I explain it once again. See here, R1 we have, right, within a bracket. So value of R1 is what? 1000 exactly. Where we have a 1000 here. So value of 1000 or content of 1000 must be a operand. But here 20 we are having. So what we need to do? We need to add a constant. Okay, whatever we are having. This is the place of x. Okay, so whatever constant we are having, that should be added for this particular 20,000. Okay, so it will become 1020. So 1020, location 1020, inside that whatever we are having, that is what the original operand, and this should be added with R2 exactly. Okay, so this 20 we are calling it as offset. 20 we are calling it as offset. Fine. Okay, very simple. Okay, same kind. Another variety also we are having, same example, another variety. 1000 is the offset we are mentioning. R1 is holding, observe it, R1 is holding what? A location called as 20. Fine. Then we need to go for location called as 20 first. Okay, then we need to go for 1000 exactly. Okay, friends. Then later, three more we got. Very basic kind of addressing mode. It is relative addressing mode we have. Okay, it is same as index addressing mode. Instead of register, okay, sorry, you can observe over here. Here we are mentioning the general purpose register, right? For index addressing mode, general purpose register we are using. This is what the offset. Offset will be same. General purpose register is replaced. Okay, general purpose register is replaced with program counter. That's it. See here, the effective address is determined by the index mode using the program counter in place of register RI. Okay, only thing is what we need to replace the program or register with program counter. Means whatever the address program counter is pointing for, let it be like 100 if it is pointing for. Okay, that is not the target we are looking for. Okay, that should be added with x. 100 plus x will be the effective address. Okay, that is what the relative addressing mode we are having. Okay, this is not much important. Okay, like just for your information sake. Then last two we got, okay, additional instruction or additional addressing mode, we call it as auto increment and auto decrement. Okay, so these are the two gesture of this auto increment and auto decrement. Okay, very simple. Registers we are involving over here. Okay, registers we are involving, observe it carefully. Okay, in this example, indirect addressing mode we are using, indirect addressing mode we are using. Okay, so that is must exactly, indirect addressing mode should be used. Okay, means the content of R2 whatever we have. Okay, so that should be considered as an address. Example like 100 we are having, so 100 should be considered as an address, right? Okay, so after accessing this 100, okay, what I need to do, I need to increment. Okay, if I execute this instruction, okay, your R2 value will be changed to what? 101. Okay, your R2 value will be incremented to 101. Why? Because we are having auto increment. Okay, after accessing the register contents. Here, the effective address of the operand is the content of a register specified in the instruction. After accessing the operand, the content of this register automatically incremented to point next item in a list. That's it. Okay, access the content of the register, then increment. This we are calling it as auto increment. Then later, what about auto decrement? Okay, so here, this is what the post increment, this is what the pre decrement. Okay, post increment, pre decrement. Okay, auto decrement mode. The content of a register specified in the instruction are first automatically decremented and are then used as the effective address of the operand. Clear? Okay, first you need to decrement, later we need to go for accessing them. Okay, so if r naught value was equal to 100, okay, if I execute this, first r naught value should be decremented to 99. Okay, 99 should be considered as a address because we are having indirect, right? 99 should be considered as a address. Okay, so inside this location 99, whatever value we are having, that should be added with value of r1 according to this. Okay, students, so this is what the addressing mode topic is. Okay, so we will discussed first one, register addressing mode, second, direct or absolute addressing mode, indirect addressing mode, then immediate addressing mode, index addressing mode, then relative addressing mode, then auto increment and auto decrement. Okay, main 6 addressing mode we are having and 2 additional addressing modes we have. Okay, okay, students. So this is it for now.